Yes, we do have Barrister Mayweather Inua, who's a member of the IMN. You're welcome to Sunrise Daily.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.
So we heard that there was another protest yesterday resulting in the death of some of your members. Was it a protest or was it a march? Was it something to signify one of the festivities that you celebrate?
Really, it wasn't a protest. It's an annual festive we do stage. For years back, we trek from virtually 6 parts of this country to Zaria, just to symbolize the hardship the progeny, the household of our Prophet Muhammad ﷺ went through when his grandson, immediate grandson, Hussein alayhi salam, was slain, killed and butchered at Karbala. Instead now in present Iraqi. He was killed, his children were killed, they were maimed, minors, women, all sorts of fundamental rights were being violated. And after that, the king Asaden, Yazid bin Muawiyah, ordered that they should be dragged down to Damascus, today's Syria. They have to trek right away from Iraq to Syria. Quite a number of kilometers. They trek barefooted, without shoes on their leg, and with the hot Sahara as a den, their veil were being butchered.
So you walk?
We trek with our legs.
Every year?
Virtually every year.
To celebrate this?
Very well, to just symbolize this.
But this year, you also, we're protesting.
It wasn't a protest. What happened yesterday wasn't a protest. We were trekking. Usually we trek, we commence the trekking from Kano State, and from Malumpashi in Kaduna State, and also from Funtua, also in Kaduna, and Birningwari in Kaduna State, from Pambegua between Kaduna, Jos, Plateau State. And from Kaduna itself, we trekked down to Zaria.
But this time around, I mean, you were holding some placards and some posters of your leader whom you're asking to be freed. So could that also be attributed, or could that also be interpreted as a protest? Whichever
program we are staging, actually, we ended up having a press release where we always ask the federal government to release our leader who has been in custody for no reason. They have been detaining him for almost a year now.
So will it be fair to also say that that was also a protest march, considering that there was some significance to that march, and then the fact that these are some of the pictures that we were able to gather from there. These are you're holding banners, these are members holding banners, holding placards, to demand the release of your leader.
Very well.
Right?
Yes.
So could we also say that this was also a protest march against the government, asking for the release of your leader?
Whichever way one can view it, call it protest, procession, all we know, we are trekking it. And it's an annual event that only commences and ends within a week, at most. They started yesterday, and it's culminating by Sunday. We will all be assembled in Zaria, in our center, which was illegally demolished by the federal government, so and I mean Kaduna State government.
I'm sorry, you will march for a week?
Very well, like the Kano Center for a week. You know the kilometers you have to cover from Kano to Zaria. They trek for a week, while those who are to leave from Kaduna, they trek for 3 to 4 days. And likewise, Pambegua, those who are leaving from Pambegua in the boundary between Kaduna and Plateau, they have to leave. I think they were supposed to leave today. Also, they trek for some days.
Wow. Now, considering the fact that you have been proscribed in Kaduna State and you are trekking to Zaria, how did you think that the state government was going to receive your trekking?
The conduct of the state government was just an insult to an acclaimed democratic state like Nigeria. You cannot just overnight proscribe. Assuming this movement is an association. You cannot just overnight proscribe an association, and perhaps we are not an association. It's a movement. It's a faith. We are not an association. We are not an organization. We are people who choose to practically execute the doctrine of Islam to the best of our understanding.
The reason I ask this is because normally if you say that your members are going to be walking for a week across different states to a final destination, first of all, you've been prescribed in Kaduna State.
Which is an illegal act.
Illegal as it might be, it is a fact. I mean, you have not challenged that in a court of law, or you have not been able to, rescind that in a court of law. So as it stands, the Kaduna State government has also exercised this right. That's on the one hand. On the second hand, you're going to be walking across different state borders. Did you try to seek the protection of security agencies?
Virtually, this is a very good one. Under our constitution, which is a ground norm in Nigeria, right, particularly Section 38, sub 1, it gives an unfettered right to all Nigerian citizens to practice their religion, their thought, conscience, without restriction or harassment. And in the practice of this religion or thought or conscience, you can do that as an individual or in community. So you only seek to apply or request for the protection of the security where you are envisaging a threat. And perhaps, to our own case, the security are our threats. They are the one threatening our life. We have been on air severally. We undergo series of press release telling the international community that this is the arrangement the Nigerian government is having. They have long planned to attack the trekking. And actually what happened yesterday was the execution of their long plan.
The reason I ask
it wasn't a provoked attack. They attack us. Although I have been seeing it on the media, most of the time the media are not fair to us. They always target as clash. What actually do you mean by clash? When someone attacks me, you say I'm fighting him? They attack us. We were armless. All our members, if you look at it very well, they were armless, defenseless. Virtually many minors were killed yesterday.
The reason I ask this is because normally if you're going to undertake a walk that's going to be on public roads, the chances are high that traffic could be disturbed. The chances are high that you need, some orderliness. You don't want also, people, miscreants, to hijack that walk. There are a lot of things that could happen. And so if you're walking across state borders, one would think that one of the things you would do is inform the state authorities so that they can actually organize, some protection, as it were, or they are in the knowledge that this march is going to happen. Is any state authority aware that this march is going to take place?
In the first place, they are very fully aware, and that was why...
How do you do that? Do you write to them?
When we went on air, almost 2 weeks to the time, we keep on creating awareness to the public and the implication of the authority.
Let me comment here, Barrister Inoa. If you talk about the Shia movement, you use the word specifically, you said, for a nation or a state that claim to have democracy. Perhaps tell us your belief. Do you believe in a democratic government?
Certainly, every rational thinking human being will believe in the government by representative. As a person, I'm a professional lawyer. I'm trained, and at least we believe in democracy. And perhaps there is no government that even comes to power with the support of the members, most members of the Islamic movement, like the present administration. We supported it. Like a colleague of yours, a senior lecturer with the ABU, who teaches mass communication. His 4 children were maimed, killed during the December tragedy. And of course, he happens to be the secretary of one of the campaign committees of the present administration. So obviously, is one fooling himself saying we don't believe in democracy.
So if you do believe in democracy and the tenets of democracy, one wonders why you didn't take any of the permit. Did you get police permit before you embarked on the Arba'in walk?
Sorry, you are getting it wrong. Our constitution doesn't, there is no provision that said before you exercise your inherent right, as we call it fundamental human right, they are inherent. no rules, no law whatsoever, both domestic and international, that says you must seek for a permission. You only goes to seek for police protection if you are envisaging a threat from elsewhere. And that was why before now I said our threat happens to be the federal government. Unfortunately, we don't know why.